start with the nitty-gritty here. I mean, how much is a World Cup winner actually going to earn, and how does that differ from years past?
Natasha, talk about inflation. This Qatar World Cup has prize money of $440 million. That's up 10% on where it was when France were World Cup winners 4 years ago, and it's been steadily rising through the 21st century to the point where the prize winners in the 20th century, the numbers are unrecognizable. In 1998, when France's youngsters won the World Cup, they won just $6 million. So this is not index linked. This is about the new billions of dollars of television revenue which are coming into the game. Even if you get knocked out in the group stage, like Germany, you get $9 million, and that's two tournaments running for them. The runner-up gets $30 million, and England, my team, we get $17 million for being the bridesmaid again.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that loss. That must have hurt. But, you know, I want to know how this breaks down for the actual players themselves.
Well, they get a share in it. And basically, the Australian team were promised $200,000 each. Germany were promised $400,000 each if they won. So that was a rather hollow promise delivered by their players. In this country, the England players who play in the Premier League are paid so well, they usually pool all their appearance money with the Football Association here in England and just pool it to charity, which is a lovely gesture. But there's something very progressive about the US men's and women's team, because the Women's World Cup has a prize fund of $50 million. Now, of course, the men's game is 7 times as big, but the US say they are going to split the money equitably between the men's and women's sides. So there's a little bit of equality and progressive nature about the US Soccer Federation there to report, Natasha.
Very interesting. Well, you know, obviously beyond just this cash prize, how has winning the World Cup changed the trajectory of the nations that have won it? For example, do the winners see more tourism? What are the benefits there? I know that I remember the last World Cup, of course, Croatia really made quite the showing. Everyone was shocked that Croatia made it to the final game. And I do think that it promoted the nation in many ways.
There's no doubt about it. And I think people are going to be rocking up to Morocco for their holidays. It's put North African football on the map. An African side has never reached the semi-finals before. Morocco, obviously well known as a nation in Israel. Of course, most Jewish people are of Moroccan descent in the population. And of course, they've signed the Abraham Accords alongside Bahrain and the UAE. So I fancy that from the Middle East and wider, there'll be extra Moroccan tourism to get on board. And it is a growth nation, a little bit, as you say, like Croatia. And the World Cup is much more multipolar than it used to be. Gone are the days when Europe and the Americas used to host it only. And of course, we've seen the World Cup in South Africa. We've seen it in Qatar. Next, it goes to Mexico, Canada, and the US. But of course, later on, we're going to see it back in the Middle East, hopefully. I would love to see a joint bid by the UAE, by Bahrain, by Israel and Morocco, a sort of Abrahamic World Cup bid, and that has been talked about. So there's no doubt that in a newly multipolar world that we've enjoyed in the last 20 or so years, the World Cup is moving around it, and tourism definitely helps the winningest teams